What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and I just finished up watching Julio Cesar Martinez versus Joel Cordova, and this was a 12-rounder for the WBC Flyweight World Championship, and this fight was Saturday, June 26th, from the Arena Alcalde in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, and this fight was broadcasted on DAZN, and in this fight, Julio Cesar Martinez was able to get a 6-round stoppage victory over his challenger, Joel Cordova, and this meant that Julio Cesar Martinez once again defends his WBC flyweight strap, and he gets his 18th victory, another knockout win for him. He looked good here. I mean, it was a competitive fight. I personally scored about 48-47 in favor of Julio Cesar Martinez leading up to the stoppage. I gave Joel Cordova rounds 2 and round 3. I could have seen 49-46, but yeah, Joel Cordova actually impressed me. I didn't think that he was going to really throw and be less fearful and be more brave and just come forward and just really throw his shots, let his hands fly, and land them on Julio Cesar Martinez, and he did. He didn't show fear at all, just came forward, did what he had to do, and won 2 rounds of my scorecard. But because of that fearlessness, he did get dropped in that 6th round, then hurt in that 5th round, then ultimately stopped in that 6th round. But just to break down rounds 2 and 3, I mean, Joel Cordova, his record, I mean, don't let it fool you. He's actually a decent fighter. He landed some beautiful right hands on the temple of Julio Cesar Martinez, and those 2 rounds were competitive, but in my opinion, Cordova did edge them. But then in that 5th round, Martinez almost dropped Cordova with a beautiful hook that sent him knees buckled and everything. I thought the referee could have called that a technical knockdown, actually, but he let it go. Then in that 6th round, another hook from Julio Cesar Martinez drops Joel Cordova this time instead of just hurting him and buckling his knees. Cordova does get back up, but then an onslaught of punches from Julio Cesar Martinez wobbles Cordova again, and then Julio Cesar Martinez just goes on in for the kill and just lands a huge barrage of punches, which leads the referee to stop the fight. That being said, Julio Cesar Martinez, as I said before, gets another stoppage win. This was a good win for him in Mexico, in front of his home country. Fans cheering. It was a great card, actually. I believe this is the first ever card they're doing with, I believe it's a cross promotion with Canelo and DAZN, and I love it. I mean, these are some great young fighters. I'm looking forward to see some other fights of this cross promotion between Canelo and DAZN, because I mean, they're supposed to show these young Mexican fighters showcasing some world champions from Mexico and some of these great fights. And already on this card, we've seen 2 excellent fights, and even on their undercard, some great fights as well. But more onto this one between Cordova and Martinez. What is next for Julio Cesar Martinez? Personally, I want to see him unify. I want to see him fight Sonny Edwards. I want to see him fight some of these top guys that could really give him a test, because in 2020, he beat Jay Harris, who, even though he's coming off a loss actually yesterday, but I mean, that was a good win, but he's like top 10, top 15 at that time. But now he's fighting Joel Cordova here. I mean, Cordova had a record of 12-4. I know I did say don't let the record fool you, but still, Cordova isn't really a top 15, nor even top 10 or top 5 fighter in the flyweight division. I'm not discrediting Martinez's opposition, because, in my opinion, he's one of the best flyweights in the world, arguably the best. But I would just love to see him unify, and I could definitely see him moving up in weight, because he's powerful enough where he could definitely carry that power into a super flyweight or something like that and win another world title belt. But as I said before, I want to see him unify, whether that be for a WBA belt, WBO, IBFs, whatever it can be. I just want to see him fight another world champion that would really test his skill level and see really where he's at. But what is next for Joel Cordova, losing here? Another knockout loss goes on his resume. I personally think he's going to fight in Mexico against the competition that he was fighting before this fight, like guys who are in the top 50, top 25, somewhere around there. Because in my opinion, he's still a decent fighter. He carries a decent amount of power, even though he only has 3 knockouts, because he was really able to rock the head of Martinez back and give him a decent scrap before he did get stopped. So once again, I'm just going to say, I believe that Joel Cordova is going to fight more opposition in Mexico that are relatively unknown to the rest of the world, but still, he'll probably get another opportunity like this in Mexico for a world title belt, something like that, to keep a champion active, just like they did with Martinez here. So overall, Julio Cesar Martinez stops Joel Cordova in the 6th round to once again defend his WBC flyweight world title. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.